So rethinking chemistry is really important because chemistry is such a fundamental science, and it's so important to the discoveries and all the things that we as kind of human citizens rely on in our everyday lives. But rethinking it is really important to make sure that it's more sustainable, to make sure we're delivering against equality and diversity, and also for making sure open science is a key part of all of our shared work going forward.
But another way to think of rethinking chemistry is also to be rethinking it from the standpoint of the scientists, the chemists, not just the chemistry. And that is, for many years we had a certain vision. Who is a chemist? What does a chemist look like? Certainly never gold. My little white outfit would be fine. My little name, my little pocket calendar, my little pens and pencils, my little slide rule, and definitely I must have glasses on. Well, I have little glasses, but not big glasses. And I had a certain way I had to look. Probably didn't wear lipstick. Probably didn't wear mascara. Although it's all better living through chemistry, right? And so it's the question of who does chemistry now. And I think that might even be harder when we rethink chemistry than rethinking the science. The science is hard because we've got installed capital bases and everything else to move past. What's harder is moving your understanding of people, because that has installed biases. And those installed biases, those little tapes in your head, tape, they're very hard to overcome. So to me, rethinking chemistry, in summary, has two components. The science itself, and being more open and willing to see the scientists differently as well.
Education has to change in the same way as living is changing, I'd say. I mean, when we now talk about circular economy, we cannot expect students to know everything about it when we do not teach it. And therefore we have to change our curricula in a regard that students learn about this circular economy, what is possible, what has to be considered when you set up a new process. And what is also very important, and we did that in Austria already, you also have to teach chemistry students what is legally allowed and what is not allowed. What you have to learn within, let's say, REACH regulations, and this will be important, and of course curricula have to change in this regard as well.
The challenge is that our education is so science-focused. We believe that everything that we've learned since Perkin and Lavoisier must be taught in general chemistry in 4 years, and heaven forbid we should actually teach kids something about the philosophy of science, or how does commercial science really work? Fully biased, I am a commercial scientist, right? I just mentioned my Henkel background. I also had the honor of running global R&D for Pepsi-Cola and global R&D for international flavors and fragrances. I'm used to big global operations that have to bring safe products out in a timely and cost-effective way. I believe that the more students appreciate the fact that it's not only the science, it's the interaction with other human beings. It's how those problems you're trying to solve really get solved in the real world. Publication with an impact factor is charming. I would never say anything negative against that. But I'm a commercial girl. And so in the end, I'd like to see that come out. So education that helps people realize there's more to science than only the molecule, only the science, only the physical chemistry. But how do we use it? How do we bring it into the world? How do we talk with others about it? That ability in education is sorely lacking. And I think it would just help get rid of some of those little tapes in our heads and the biases in our heads if we had something a little wider.
I think that we should rethink the way we educate younger people in chemistry. So the education should not include only technical aspects, but also economics, legal, interaction with other disciplines, environmental sciences. And as practical initiative, what we are doing in the Italian Chemical Society is to invite in our event speakers, for example, who are not directly involved with chemistry. We are planning our next big conference in 2024 in Milano, which will be the General Conference of the Italian Chemical Society, which we held every 3 years. And the idea, in this case, the name of the conference will be Elements of Future, Chemistry, Elements of Future. And what we want to do is to have not only a conference where top-notch researcher will discuss their research, but also we will invite people from other cultural environment, meaning economics, meaning governmental institutions, meaning people involved on a broader sense in culture, also to emphasize the interaction of chemistry with history, with other aspects of culture like literature, music, poetry. We should put chemistry in a larger perspective.
There needs to be a change in mind of the fact that it is a collective responsibility and a collective ownership and collective accountability. The chemical science community has a really, really important role to play, and I think a fantastic opportunity to really make a difference. I mean, as chemistry is so fundamental, it's present in everything we see, everything we touch, everything we smell, everything we taste, and therefore having real accountability for how we use our science is important. And I think all of the chemical science community needs to take ownership and be responsible for that.
We should learn more to be proud of being chemists, of the importance of our science, and of the impact that we can do in the society, in the politics, much more. I mean, we already do that, but we can have it even more if we became prouder of the technical content and the values that we bring with us.
Engaging with the public is going to be increasingly important, and particularly because there needs to be increased funding and continued funding in chemistry.
Within GÖCH, we will try in the future to get more in contact with general public, to inform people about what chemistry can do for them, and that chemistry is no longer the science which causes the problems, but is the science which finds solutions for the problems. And this has to be transferred to general public in particular, I think.
Working together as a community, working together across borders, across disciplines, across sectors. And I think it is so important that channels of communication are really open, and that we don't shy away from having the difficult conversations that chemists need to tackle. We're not defensive about things that we've done in the past, but we look to the future, that we have a long-term view and a long-term vision for how chemistry and the chemical sciences can really impact and make a difference in the world, and as the RACI always say, make the world a better place. But it has to come from working together collaboratively. There isn't enough funding and resources and energy for every single organisation, every single society, every single individual to do it on their own. We have to do it collectively.
It's not really good to have individual solutions in every national society, because this binds a lot of effort and time and manpower. And I mean, if one national society finds a good solution for a problem, this should be distributed to the other societies as well. So don't invent the wheel several times. That's not necessary.
Well, we are hoping to set up programs that will allow exchange of people between the countries. After all, that's the best way to generate new ideas. So sending people to meetings, to training camps between the countries, visit industry, visit academia. And that way, I think, will generate new ideas in chemistry.
Every chemist should take the responsibility to dedicate part of her or his time to communication, to explaining to the community and to the people who are not directly involved into chemistry why chemistry is important, how can it contribute to the progress of mankind, to the better quality of life, how it already did in the past and how it can do more in the future.
Think bigger and be outside the box.